Yo everybody, Serial Conver here with yet another weekly benchmark video. If it sounds like I'm kind of tired, it's because I am kind of tired, let me tell you. Today is the 1st, and I decided to myself that I would stream on time. I would do my recording on time, and I would put in the work as per usual because things have not been going that well. But, you know, how I said I would do the animation. I did the animation. I did all of it on the last day. 11 hours worth. I animated the whole thing, made a complete freaking rig of it. It wasn't that funny. Let me tell you. 1 second. See, if you look here, look here, this was the entire rig. From the eyes to the legs to everything. It's like 20 layers, I think. And it had about, you know, that many keyframes, and I had to do all of that. And it just, oh man, I tell ya, completely wiped me out. I was like, I was so tired, honestly. And I slept like at 4 o'clock yesterday. Because I told my supervisor, oh, I'll work on Tuesday so I get Sunday off so I could work on the animation, which I did work on the animation. And that was 11 hours of work, and it constantly... Oh, I took everything I had, basically. I used all my strength, mental strength, and physical strength to work on it. Not really physical, more like mental. And I finished it all in 11 hours, and I got it done. I got all of it done on the last day, even though it's supposed to be over the entire month that you're supposed to animate. So going forward, I'm like, you know, this kind of work schedule, like putting it all off until the final day is just not good. And putting off my daily recording, my weekly recording for my weekly benchmark until the next day isn't that good either. But I might do that starting next week again. But this week, you know, even... Let me tell you how bad it was. I went to sleep at 4 o'clock yesterday, right? 4 o'clock after midnight, so that was 4 until 12. I slept. I was meant to sleep. I was meant to sleep 8 hours, the original. I slept 12 hours the previous day, and I slept 13 hours the previous day before that, thinking I would be okay for the animation. That animation mentally withered me so freaking hard that I just completely zoned out. And I went to sleep for 9 hours until like 1 o'clock. And then I woke up at 1 o'clock today. And I was like, yeah, let's get the work done. We still have to do the video. We still have to do the daily drawing. And then we have to do the weekly benchmark video. And then we have to, you know, send it out, you know, publish it, make the thumbnail, etc., etc. And we should be good to do that. And I was like, yeah, dude, I got 9 hours sleep. There's no way this could possibly go wrong. And then I turned over the calendar for the next month, and I did my monthly picture for that, for my calendar completion. That was good too. Apparently, with the big picture. So we're thinking about the big picture this month. We're thinking about the whole story, and that's what I want to do for this month. I want to think about the big picture because that's what should come first, like the calendar tells me. I should be focusing on how to basically, you know, do the whole thing, get to the whole premise, understand the fundamentals of what do I need to do this month to make this next month worth it. Because like I said, the time-sensitive thing, it could be pushed to this month. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen this month. But if it gets pushed to next month, I'm in an even more same degree of trouble. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't seem right. And I still haven't even started, like, working. I'm still 1/3 of the way done with that animation. I haven't even started on it yet. So I'm thinking about the big picture, and the big picture is I should start on the 3rd month's animation even sooner, because I've already made good progress on it. I should at least start on it so that when the time comes to pass that it does happen, I could get the rest of it done in one fell swoop, one fell day. You know, so that it doesn't preoccupy me, and then maybe I could get started on next month's animation ahead of time, because the last day crunches are just not that great, and it doesn't provide, it doesn't produce good results, if you ask me. It makes kind of subpar results, because you can see here. You can see here, this is month 2's animation. But first we'll go through this week's drawing. So like last week, I did Judge Grew, and that was because I was running out of time. I only had an hour or two to do that, and that wasn't the best thing. I could have done more, I could have done better, but, you know, I had little time, so I didn't draw the arms, I didn't draw the legs, I didn't draw anything. I just drew a person there, you know, sitting there like in Ace Attorney, which would be Judge Grew, which is just not the greatest kind of play, but yeah, it's something. So this week I had another theme like I did for last time with the Toho Girls and the Ghosts. This theme was Cuphead, because this month's animation, last month's animation, is Cuphead related. So I started with Mugman, pretty good shot. I did Croaks, pretty good shot, pretty good, because he has, like, you know, wobbly, noodly arms, so it makes sense. Because it's old school animation, the arms don't really bend to the kind of like this kind of thing. It just bends like kind of like a noodle. So it's fine to draw it like that, right? But all of these were original concepts, if you ask me. Like, well, this was more of a study, but it's slightly like different from the original, but it's still basically a study. But this was a mix of reference and original content, and so was this, and so was that, and so was everything else. But I felt like, you know, I made pretty good progress. I made pretty good drawings despite the animation. But that was because I was probably procrastinating on the animation. What I should have been doing, instead of doing like these reference mix-ups, you know, I should have been working on my animation, but I was procrastinating hard because I didn't think it would be that good. But when I did it, you know, I kind of went into it head first. You know, I put the whole 11 hours in until the very last hour I was working on it. And then I turned it in with the pre-coordinated, like, finish up, touch-ups on the last hour. I was able to get it out 30 to 45 minutes before the next month rolled over, so that was good for me. But this made good sense. This was a mix-up. The mix-up 2 of reference and the official. This one, I probably put the most work into Cagney Carnation out of everything, let me be honest with you. It looks pretty good, except for the hands. The hands just don't look that good, but the petals, I really do like the petals. The petals kind of look on point. Then, you know, the ghost from the Cuphead show. I went with the Cuphead resolution to do everything Cuphead this month, because it would be simpler design. There wouldn't be as much, you know, predetermined, like, hard things to draw. Some things they didn't go that well, and some things took a little longer than others. Like, some of these drawings took like 5 hours to draw, but that was because I was kind of like mellowing out on the sideline because I was procrastinating hard. But that's kind of what happens. I mean, like, it's just something that, you know, goes through. It's just something that happens. But this was pretty good. And then this one, I was sick. Dude, I was sick all of that day. It would have, like, it's pretty decent, but if I wasn't sick, maybe it would have been even better. But, you know, I still feel like the shading was pretty good. Pretty consistent, if you ask me. The shading was pretty consistent. The body structure is not innately horrible. You know what I'm saying? But I was sick all that day. And I was like, I had to use so many tissues, and it was just like so not great, if you ask me. But it's whatever. I was still kind of sick for photographer. And this was the same day, this was the same last 2 days I had to work on it, so I kind of made cartographer, which would be my weekly benchmark. kind of put it off to the side because it's the second last day of the animation month. And I was like, yeah, you know, I could work on this some more, or I could stop procrastinating and I could work on my god dang animation. And even then, I didn't work on my animation. I just procrastinated even more because, you know, why work on it when you could put it off to the last 11 hours and still finish it? But yeah, this was another reference mixed with official art. I'm pretty happy with the result. I kind of like the originality of the leg that I made. It was complete rough sketch off of the top of my head. So it proves that I am learning a little bit on how to draw, but it still has a long way to go. But anyway, next up is the animation, because I still haven't done today's drawing, which I should be doing. But instead I'm doing this weekly benchmark video because I want to make sure that I put in the time so that tomorrow I can more focus on maybe the animation, maybe you know, the next day's drawing, or maybe the records or something, because I kind of put off the records suspended them for a month because I do 2 record drawings and I do 2 record diaries every day for 5 days, which means I come out with a surplus of 3, because 5 times 2 is 10. And if 7 covers the entire week, then I get 3 left over. And that's the whole point of, like, doing 2 at a time so that I don't feel like overworked. And I can focus more on the daily drawings, which are still daily, but I'm still trying to maybe get to the point where they're not, like, they're scheduled in advance, and I work on them ahead of time, and then I finish them on the day, or something like that. But something that happens, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, like I was saying, this animation month, I did it all in 11 hours, so it wasn't even that great, but I'm pretty happy with the result. So anyway, this is the animation. It's a standard backgrounds hit, and then a character tweeting into the frame, and then a little bit of dancing. So, like I said, this is like a 30-second animation that just kind of happened, and I kind of made it. And then I made the character walk in, then I made the character walk out, using a nationalized rig into a nested symbol. And then I moved them onto the stage, and then I made them stand there, and then I made them move out. If I had more time, maybe I could have refined the idea more, maybe put in some more special effects or something. But, you know, it's a Cuphead-related kind of, like, thing. I did Mugman, I did Cuphead. I did Mugman for the first day of the week, I did Cuphead for the weekly benchmark, and then I did, you know, Miss Chalice for the animation. That was what I planned ahead of time, a week ahead of time, to be the overall kind of, you know, main strat. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't fall flat. You know, it doesn't feel like you can look at the animation for long enough and say, well, there's these distinct problems. It's basically, it works just fine. It's just an animation. I had 11 hours to do it. It didn't really exceed my expectations, but it met my expectations. And it works perfectly fine. You could look at the character, you could see the tween, you could see the motions, and the motions do lead into each other. But that's kind of because I made it kind of a rotoscope of this initial animation that I've seen before from ED of an anime that I watched a long time ago. Kore wa Zombie desu ka is the anime, I'm pretty sure. It's an anime I saw a long time ago. I still like it. I mean, like, I was a child when I watched it, so it was kind of, like, childish. And it was also an ecchi anime, but, I mean, like, that's beside the point, you know what I'm saying? Some of the characters were just nice. Some of the characters are just like... And it reminds me of more nostalgic time, thus the nostalgic week kind of center on the videos, on the drawings, but... Maybe this month I'll work more on, you know, just kind of getting to the standard, thinking of the big picture, and, you know, not being so to the point tired that after I do the animation and I sleep for 9 hours, I get up at 1 o'clock, I do my Kangola for 3 hours, and then I fall asleep again until literally 6:30. I slept another 3 hours today, and I didn't even realize I was asleep until I was asleep. I just passed out on the bed, and then the next thing I wake up, it's 6:30, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do my weekly benchmark video. And now after this, I gotta do my, daily drawing, which I haven't even started yet, and I haven't even done my exercises. But as you can see here from my diary, I've done the voice acting. I don't have to do the voice acting because it's my day off. I already did my Japanese lesson. I did my Kankole, and all I have to do is my daily draw, basically. Since I just finished with my, weekly benchmark video now. But basically, that's how it's gonna go. And that's how it's gonna be for this week. But anyway, this was Zero Comfort here for you for this week. And until next time or something, I'll see you all later. Follow or like and subscribe for later content. And until next time or something, I'll see you all later. Thanks so much for watching.